Hey, you're on the call with Pehk and Kahl. I happen to be Kahl.
And I'm Peck.
And this is our holiday special episode. Hey. It is
Woo! I'm
December
excited.
19th, 2019.
1929. Ah, good
Yeah.
year.
Soon to be 2020.
Yep.
I've been hearing people call it 2000. Or
What?
no, they've been calling it 2020,000. I
That,
don't like it.
that's a lot of digits. That's not the
I
same
just say
number.
2020. Just keep it simple. Why
Yeah.
overcomplicate a number?
Yeah, well, people want to do different things to be hip and trendy. That's
Yeah,
all.
we all just want to get that hashtag mark.
Yep.
Well, it's the holiday season, and that means holiday music on the radio. That means gift shopping. That means depression. That means
That means being broke.
being baroque. That means getting fat. That means
Yep.
running over grandma. That
Always.
means asking for crap you probably don't need.
Of course.
What a time.
What a time.
Let me ask, what's your favorite song that they play?
There's a couple, but the one I've actually been really liking lately is "We Need a Little Christmas." I don't know, it's a little different. I find it a little different compared to most Christmas songs, and it's one of the few that sort of gets gives me the old you want to wiggle your finger and toe tap to it.
Nice.
I don't know, I like it. It's pretty catchy.
Would it be awkward to go to like a Hanukkah celebration and be like, hey, we need a little Christmas?
Absolutely, because they don't like Christmas.
Hey, it's not that I don't like Hanukkah. I just don't know any. No one invites me to parties. I never get invited.
Yeah, no. Yeah, now that I think of it, we never met anyone who was
Of the
you know,
Judaic faith?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's it. We got to expand our horizons. I haven't been to one Kwanzaa outing.
What's a Kwanzaa?
I've been passing these out for 300 years. Futurama. And that reminds me, the holiday specials. They're out in full stride. My absolute favorite is not just the Rudolph stop animations, but a specific one where he is trying to locate the baby New Year, who's an actual baby, as a representation.
Rudolph Shining
Rudolph
New Year.
Shining
That's
New
a
Year,
good
in
one.
my opinion, is the best Rudolph stop animation, hands down. The bad guy's this vulture called Eon, and the whole plot is he doesn't want to die, and if he kidnaps and stops the New Year from coming, he's good. But the baby's
It's
got
pretty
those
nice.
big ears that makes everybody laugh, and it hurts his feelings, and he's like, screw you guys. And Rudolph's like, bro, been there. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out.
Like, and Rudolph gathers these gathers a caveman, a knight, and Benjamin Franklin
It's
to help
damn
him save
Odyssey.
the New Year.
And they're in an archipelago, and each island's
Yeah.
like radically different. They represent a
Yeah.
point in time. They got the dinosaur
Mhm.
one. It's raining motherfucking sunshine. That is a
Rain,
great
sunshine.
song.
Yeah.
I
Sunshine.
sing that sometimes to this day. Actually, this brings up a little memory I want to share. Back in 5th grade, around this time of year, we were doing a little holiday trivia. We broke up into teams of about 5 or so. Not brain buster questions, but a question came up. What was the only thing Rudolph couldn't do because of his nose? What was the limitation? Now, me being a Rudolph stop animation buff, I saw all of the movies. There's that one movie, I don't know if you remember, where Frosty the Snowman is at a circus in July.
Oh
And
yeah.
the plot is Frosty and his snowman family are going to melt away and die the second the 4th of July 100th firework goes off. And so I forget the details, but Rudolph's got to do some stuff. But during it, Rudolph loses the ability to shine his nose because he was actually bestowed the ability. It goes deep into lore, folks, by this blue fairy type of entity. And she's like, I'm going to make your nose glow. But
Grow.
if you ever use your glowing nose for evil, if you help a bank robber use a flashlight in a snowstorm, that's it. You're done. You're cut off from shining noses. So
Huh.
he uses it to help a bad reindeer called, I don't know what his name is, but they made him look butt ugly. They help him out and inadvertently helps this weird warlock bad guy character. And Rudolph loses his shining nose. I think that meant he couldn't help. No, he was a circus attraction. So he goes in front of the audience. He's like, all right, folks, I'm Rudolph. I do not have my glowing nose, but I can still do some tricks. And everyone's like, boo, this sucks. Get this reindeer out of here.
I don't remember
Right?
anything about
So
this
you're
movie.
not alone, because neither did my teacher. Because when I convinced my whole team to use that as an answer, I'm like, guys, clearly the answer is he cannot use his nose for evil. So they say that everyone else says he couldn't be part of the reindeer games, and my group's like, he cannot use his nose for evil. And my teacher's looking at me like, no. I want to go back and be like, hey, I was right. You don't know.
Mrs. Thompson, you were
You
wrong.
were wrong. I will go back one day, and I will get my revenge. No, it's gone. I just gotta let it go. Rudolph!
Oh, don't.
So that's my holiday spirit.
I'm glad somebody had to be so knowledgeable about those 3 goddamn movies.
I love them. The first one's an instant classic, but people just don't get into it. There's another movie with, of course, the Heat Misers and the Kringle movie. And here's another thing. That circus movie, that was a crossover between like all of the different movies. You had Jack Frost. You had Frosty the Snowman. You had Santa Claus. You had Rudolph. You had a Texas woman with guns just yeeting them
Wait, hold up.
wizards. It was amazing.
Hold on. 1 second. Santa Claus was there?
He was late. Like
Santa Claus was in the
plot.
Christmas movie?
He was a side plot. He's like, we gotta get to the circus and bring Frosty back to the North Pole or he's gonna die. And then he's like, I'm lost though.
I think Marvel needs to sit the fuck
need
back
to-
if they think their crossover was any more memorable than Santa Claus.
Everyone's like,
being
hey,
here.
the Last Guardians. I'm like, no. Check yourself.
No.
Already been done.
Already been done.
As the kids say, don't at me. Those are the best holiday trilogies ever. So, a lot's happened since our last episode. Got a lot of video games and animes out.
Yep.
And I wanted to talk about Demon Slayer. Have you seen a bit of it?
No. I know people love it. Absolutely love it. People are saying it's like the best anime to come out in a long time.
Yeah, they put a lot of money into this. Every arc it's not panning. I'm sorry, but One Piece might want to take a little note. Like, I know One Piece is this train, this factory of anime, but I would really like to see them maybe take like 3 months off to really make these fight scenes epic. And I love what they're doing. So when the season does end, they go into a trailer for the next season. It's a frickin' movie. That's how they are doing the next arc. It's gonna be a movie. And
Oh.
I never liked the movies they did for Naruto where it was it was basically somebody's screenplay of an anime movie. Let's throw Naruto and some fan favorites in. It had no
Hmm.
implication on the real story. It was just a big budget. Let's let's make up some fighting, I guess. And there were some stinkers from that one.
Hmm.
Never loved the Naruto movies. The the Bleach movies equally had that problem. Just it's like what's going on? This isn't even remotely canon. Ugh. I like the Dragon Ball Z movies better though. I don't mind that
Yeah.
that's standalone. That's okay to me. Because I think the fighting scenes are what you really want to see. You don't really, I don't really care what's the story. I just want to see Goku punch people. But I would like to see that direction where if you're gonna get money for a movie, can we use it to be part of the canon story? Can we just make certain arcs, certain fights that are leading up to bigger and badder guys be memorable? That's all. I hope it trends.
Like a
I hope it's very successful. So other studios, maybe My Hero Academia, will go, hey, maybe our next arc should just be a movie. Just like maybe even just like Digimon Try being like a very high budget but low episode season.
hate try.
But
Hated it.
animation wise, Try was pretty pleasing to the eyes.
Oh no, it looked great. Like everything but the human characters looked great because all the human characters had like same face syndrome, and it was just gross. But the Digimon looked great. The action was great when it was there.
Yeah, it had some moments. Don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but they shake it up. They make some moves.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be in love with the OC character they shoehorn in, but it is what it is. You do get some pretty fun
But
scenes out of it.
but it's okay. They're redeeming themselves with the new movie coming out,
Oh,
which completely yeah. They got the original producer who worked on the TV series back in the '90s back for this one,
ooh,
and
wow!
it's gonna be the last one. It's called Last Evolution,
I love it. I
and
love it.
and it's great because it's not just like the first season gang. Like they finally have the season 2 guys
Yes.
there being active, partaking in the fights. We see XVmon back after so long. I'm hyped.
Where do I get my ticket for the hype train? Where do
Uh,
I?
whenever tickets come out over
I
here.
think I will if that comes out in theaters, because the way it works in our country, our state, is sometimes we'll get very well-known anime movies like Dragon Ball Z or some niche movies, but they'll only release it for like a weekend. So it's a very very short.
Uh,
You got to get in there fast. It's
Not even that. Like I saw the Konosuba movie in theaters. It was like one day only.
right. It's very time sensitive, because there's just not a big enough market for anime movies here.
It's growing though. Like they're actually.
You're right, because
yeah.
they used to never do that. You would never get the
Yeah.
only anime movie we ever got was Digimon
Was
and
Pokemon
and I think Yu-Gi-Oh.
and the Yu-Gi-Oh movie one
when
time.
Yu-Gi-Oh was super crazy, we got the first movie, but we got
Yeah.
I think we got about 4 to 5 Pokemon movies.
Oh yeah, the Ghibli
Yep.
movies too.
Oh, of course, the Ghibli movies. But like traditional, shonen anime, not I'm gonna say artsy anime. No, Ghibli's well respected, and whenever
Mhm.
something's out, I try and take a look because I like that style.
Mhm.
But I don't really consider that anime. I consider it just very high level animation. Like with shonen anime, I want very big effects. I want very high paced action. And we don't really get a lot of those
Mhm.
movies here. So that's in the anime section. Have you been playing anything new for the video game sector?
Um, Let's see. Have I? I mean, actually, oh, I have been playing. Master Chief Collection came out on Steam, so I've been playing Halo Reach.
I've heard.
And
I've heard it's been out.
Oh, what a it's been a fun time. It makes me feel like I'm back 2008, wishing I was playing Halo 2 instead, which I will be when they release it finally, but
I've heard it's been very successful.
yeah, no, that was fun. Oh yeah, that's been fun. What was the other thing? Yeah, I've been doing that. I've been oh yeah, I bought Daemon X Machina on the Switch. Haven't really put too much time into it. I've just been occupied with a lot of other things. I just can't
curious about that. Could you maybe give me a little synopsis on it?
Actually, I'll be honest. I really haven't been focusing on the story at all. It's just not grabbing me.
What's the gameplay like?
That doesn't. Remember when we played Armored Core back at Bruce's house? It's by the same team, so it plays pretty similar. Like third person mecha shooter, very fast paced, flying through the air. You got rockets up the butt with customization.
That reminds me of Gundam Breaker.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. But what I like though is the little avatar character you can like edit and stuff like that. You can actually give yourself special abilities that boost the mech. But upon doing so, like you'll permanently, visually, you'll be like different forever. Like I did this upgrade where it increased the radar sensors on it, where I can see enemies and stuff and lock on me better. But my eyes, after that I did like the upgrade, they would be yellow, but they would have like this bright orange hue in the center of it. And then we had there's little ones like that. Then there's ones where like my skin radiates electricity now because I got like an armor upgrade.
Now is this the human character or the mech?
That's the human character.
That's cool.
Like you're getting cybernetic surgery on yourself so your robot can be better.
Sign me up. Now,
and real quick, they actually have been doing a lot of cross promotional stuff for free DLC. There was ones you'd expect like Eureka 7 and Macross, but the weirdest one we just got, The Witcher 3.
What? What are you?
You got Geralt's armor and wig and facial features to put on. You can basically be Geralt piloting a robot.
I see. So it's a DLC for your human character. You're not Geralt.
Yeah.
An 80-foot Geralt running around.
I
see. That makes sense because
It's
Witcher was ported to the Switch, and I don't know how they did that.
And it's funny, like when I was talking to someone about it, he goes, technically it's canon because, Witcher portals, haha,
Yeah.
he's in Monster Hunter as well.
He's perfect for crossovers. He's got it built into his canon. It's great.
It's funny.
I imagine him getting
doing
into a
that.
portal on Final Destination with Pikachu, Sonic, Mario, and him just going back into the portal like, I'm not going to do this. No.
These monsters don't look like worth my time, and leaves.
Like, nope.
That being said,
These monsters
let's
are
talk
too
about.
powerful.
Did you watch the Game Awards at all?
I watched someone else watch them because it's 2019.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. Oh my god, what a snooze. Like, putting me to sleep.
No Smash announcements.
Boring. I mean, I had a feeling because Nintendo likes to do, we don't want people to expect something. They always want to surprise people and, like, do a curveball. So I wasn't fully expecting it, but I was expecting a little more. Hell, like, Nintendo didn't only had two new reveals. They had Bravely Default 2, even though we had Bravely Second already, and the new Travis No More Heroes game, and that's really all they had.
Yeah.
And that was like, I guess there was no Bayonetta 3, no Metroid Prime 4. Nothing.
Nada.
What do you think about the Xbox Tower?
Yeah, that's right. The PS5 and Xbox Tower. So a lot of people are looking at it like a PC, and I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. It's always been a PC. It's just been a
But now it looks
standard
more
PC.
like a PC because it's vertical.
Yeah, Xbox is like, listen, we're not going to reinvent the wheel here. And I understand what the X series means. They're taking a page out of Nintendo. They're giving people options, because the problem's always been, hey, here's our new system. It's $500. It's like, man, I don't want to take out a loan to game. It's like, all right, well, if you just want a game, you don't want to do any of the extra bells and whistles that we're going to shill out for the next 5 years. Here's a little Steam box that's probably going to be $300. And I think that's a good idea. Whenever you can give your consumer options, it's worth it. Now,
just get me some games, Microsoft.
Yeah, they working on it. They bought a bunch of studios. They knew what the win condition was going to be. PS5 just has too many good exclusives. Nintendo blows everyone out of the water with their exclusives. And Xbox is just keeping up, but they're not overtaking anyone. They need a console seller. Halo's nice.
Halo's nice. They were gonna have Scalebound, but that fell through horribly.
Maybe it was for the best. And PS5 has already shown off their demo where, what was it called? Oh Lord, something like, essentially it's going to be a Destiny style, not quite a looter shooter. I believe they're focusing more on melee. No gameplay footage, just very beautiful renders. But yeah, it reminds me of Destiny. They definitely want people to be grouping up with about threes, maybe a solo. And a feature about the consoles I think is very needed is they're going to have a built-in kind of like an Alexa assistant that can... And I'm like, maybe that'll be annoying, but what they want is they want this assistant to bring up wikis and internet browsers right in the middle of your game. If you're like, oh, how do I beat this boss? Now you don't have to log off your game, go into your phone or computer. You can just do it mid-game is the idea. So
I mean, I get it. I mean,
I'll wait to see how they implement it. Is it,
Yeah, I don't know. It just how it sounds. It sounds unnecessary, to me. But if it, for all I know, they could do something completely different. So we'll have to wait.
For all we know, they could start having AAA games develop their games to have tutorials revolve around this assistant. Maybe have it integrated.
Maybe.
And then, of course, they might have better VR support, better cameras, huge amount of storage so you can play more games. Was backwards compatibility confirmed?
No. It's rumored, but we haven't heard anything official
And what about
yet.
all my games on the PS4? Like, what's stopping them from just, transferring these games to this new system?
I mean, they could do what they did with the PS3 games. They just throw it on PS Now and call it a day.
They could. I want a huge virtual library. Like, in 4 years, if I want to go and buy God of War 4 on my PS5, I want that option. And if I've already bought it on my PS4, I want to just download it. Like, I already bought it from you guys. Don't make me buy it on another console when, if I bought it on PC and I upgraded my PC 4 years later, I still own the game. I don't have to buy it again.
Nope. But you don't want to buy God of War remastered?
No. The only remastered games I want to see have to have been on the Nintendo 64 or PS1. Because their work on Spyro and Crash is amazing. I want to see... Did we get a Banjo-Kazooie remake confirmed yet? What the hell are they doing?
There's talk
it's like
on it.
Xbox. Come on! I guarantee you they're working on it. Guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
After he got into Smash, I'm like, oh, his game's getting remade. and they're gonna do 1 and 2.
Yeah.
It's gonna be $40. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, they'll have a bundle, and then they'll work on. We'll finally get Banjo 3, maybe afterwards.
How many copies?
But can I just say,
tell
like,
me how many copies do I have to buy for you to go yes to greenlight this? Give me a number.
Back to Crash for a moment. Can I just say I'm really, really happy that Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled won Best Sports Game of the Year. Not like there was any real contenders. I'm just glad it won because it is.
Wait.
Been like that's
It won
yeah.
Best Sports Game.
Sports Racing Game of the
racing
Year, yes.
game. Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm. But the contenders were like FIFA and other sports game and Formula One, so sports games.
It won Most Fun Game.
No, it won Best Sports Game of the Year.
How about that?
Yeah.
If you told me that even just a year ago, I would have told you, what? Huh?
You're full of shit. Yeah, no, it's Switch. Nintendo was doing a thing where it's like, now that the year's almost over, let's see. Log into your Nintendo Switch thingy ID on the website, and we'll tell you your stats. And that was one of the most played games I played this year. It's a fun game.
Yeah, and I want to kind of segue from Nintendo to kind of touch on something I heard about Pokemon. Pokemon Sword and Shield. There's a rumor of a emulation, or rather a hack, that inserts Digimon into Sword and Shield.
Oh yeah, no, I can evaluate on that. I'm part of the Agumon for Smash Brothers.
Oh, does
Discord,
he know all about it?
Actually, no, well, he's the one who made it. His name's Hollow. He's one of the members.
Is that?
Yeah,
Oh, I did not know that.
yeah. He just did a skin over Charizard. It was really funny.
I see. So they reskinned in-game models.
Yeah.
I see. Smart. Fun.
Yeah.
Remember that, Game
pretty
Freak?
convinced.
Fun?
Yeah. Fun. I can't talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'll say one thing. Did you the other exploits aside? Did you see the one where like the guy was cycling through the air,
No, I haven't seen that.
like going completely out of the boundaries, like it was Gen 4?
Lord.
It's. I don't know. Like I'm completely burnt out on it. Like I haven't like touched it in like
I did
a
want to
couple
ask
weeks,
you,
like-
are you all
I
set
got
with that?
yeah, no, I got the 2 shinies I wanted because let me just say this: the shinies in this game, they're not great. They're not bad. Like they're not like there's none that's saying, "Wow, I want to sit on my ass and go on up and cycle around until I get one of those." There's not many of them. They're pretty
In my
bad, pretty
stupid
plain
biking
boring.
outfit that I love looking at.
Yeah, and yeah, just
The only one I kind of liked was Grimmsnarl's shiny because he's all white
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
he's white and pink.
red, which kind of look like him.
it just I don't
Dang.
know, like now I have to deal with apparently it sold the most, it had the best release in the whole franchise, and now I gotta deal with people on Twitter going, I thought you guys said this was going to be bad. What about that? Bring back an actional Dexter? I go, well, you know, it still sucks. It's still the worst game ever. Flies flock to shit all the time.
Yep.
Like, hello.
I like that analogy.
Like,
Yeah, it's deaf because
like,
it's on the Switch.
it's fun. It's a it's fun because it's a Pokemon game. You're always gonna have fun in a Pokemon game, but you can fun can only that doesn't make all the problems go away.
Right,
I'm
it's
sorry.
got no
It's-
lasting power. You go through the story
No,
and it's
because-
over. It's like, I'm done.
And the stories was terrible. It was the worst villain in the franchise. Awful,
My good-
completely
worse
terrible.
Sun and Moon? Oh
Worse.
my gosh.
Like, you wanna know what his motivation was? Spoiler alert if you haven't seen someone played on the internet already. Basically, the Chairman Rose, who we all knew who was an evil villain the day one, basically, since he basically owns everything on the island, or on the region and stuff, so I guess He was using the power from Eternatus, the legendary that controlled Dynamaxing, because we always gotta have a legendary associated with their new fucking gimmick now. Apparently, there was gonna be an energy crisis 1,000 years from now, so instead of worrying about it then, Chairman Rose is like, champion. Oh, by the way, a lot of the story happens off screen. Like, you don't get to see what Champion gets. Champion's
Pehk,
hey guys,
that
I gotta go and do stuff.
Money and require cinematic animators, and that would require Game Freak to hire people from outside their bubble.
Yeah, but
we can't have that.
We can't. But then it's just like the guy goes bullshit crazy. He's like, all right, so I need to, worry about this now. I gotta release Eternatus. I gotta do my big old plan. I don't even know what the hell he was even trying to do.
Here, kids.
Everyone was telling him, "What the fuck are you doing?" Champion was like, "This is and that reminds me, the very important cutscene between him and the Champion. It wasn't even a rendered cutscene. It was still images like you were reading a fucking visual novel.
My goodness.
Like JPEGs.
My goodness. And you know what?
And
I didn't even like Eternius. He's an Ultra Beast.
He's an Ultra Beast from space.
For instance, a lot of the 3D modeling was taken advantage for the design. I'm going to point out Apple Turn. What a great way to use 3 dimensions. Then you have Eternius. Yeah. What an ugly, ugly looking mon. It doesn't look like a creature. It looks like a structure.
I can't even tell if this thing's alive. It doesn't. I can't even tell where its face is. I know it has a head.
Way too ambiguous. I can't make heads or tails of it. Talk about over design.
Yeah, that's probably the only time I'll accept that as a valid complaint for that. Like, it doesn't even look like. I feel like they're just trying to do we want more non-traditional Pokemon designs in. It's like, well, okay, but why does it look like shit?
I'm hoping that with the second... Now, my eyes, I knew that when this came on the Switch, everyone's going to buy it just for that fact. It's a new generation on the Switch. I'm buying it. I knew a lot of people were going to do that. That's all they needed.
Yep.
For myself, there were way too many strings attached. Or rather, not enough... They shuffled around content, and we didn't get enough to warrant $60. Bottom line.
Not $60 and the removal of the decks. We got no post game. Battle Tower's been nerfed. Raid. No one does raids anymore because of the exploit where you can get anything you want through an egg or whatever.
So they literally have a broken post game.
The game itself is broken. You can hatch male Salazzles and other things that shouldn't exist with moves.
I haven't seen
that it shouldn't have
bugs since Gold and Silver.
Gen 1.
Which I give them a
Gen
pass
1 bugs.
because hey, we just got a Game Boy Color going.
Yeah.
All right.
But name any other game that has had they've had games on the previous consoles, but their first step onto the Switch. Name any other game that has had these problems.
Lots of games do.
None of them.
But they fixed them.
That too, they fixed them. This isn't going to get fixed because you're all gonna buy the game coming out next year, and we're gonna go through the same spiel again of those. Why are you doing this again? Because they're only rushing this out so they can keep up with their merchandise about whatever new stupid Pokemon they want to push.
Yeah, it's essentially just a toy commercial you're playing. You're not playing a game anymore.
And it's not a game anymore, and
when you think about
upsetting.
it, to make these toys, you have to make a 3D model, which then is sent to a manufacturer. Yeah. Really, you're just putting that together in a game and giving it to us. It's like, hey, here's our toy model kits. You guys can play around with that if you like.
If you like those, maybe buy some wallpaper and put some stuffed animals. Maybe that's why all the Pokemon are fucking round now, so they can make plushies out of them.
Easier to make into toys. Exactly. It's the same
Yep.
reason why I was looking at an old image of the Google symbol, and back when they first started, it was still simple. It was just Google with or quad colors. I forget how many colors, but it used a Beweevil border with a little shadow. Now they just made it plain, borderless color text. It's as simple as you can possibly make it, as efficient. You know, I hate to say this, but soul, no soul. Just corporation, let's make as much profit as we possibly can. Creativity, bankruptcy.
And people can throw around, it's like, well, think of all the hard work they had to put in. Like, I don't care what goes on at Game Freak or Pokemon Company International HQ. Like, if they don't have, like, if they think they're making a game that is not up to standards that it should be, then they should say something. They're the ones fucking making it, and they have been for so long. I get that Japanese honor-bound bullshit culture, whatever, prevents them from doing so, but there has to be a limit to that. You can't just rely on us screaming on Twitter all goddamn day.
And whatever you put out there is you saying, I'm good with this. Your name's on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've noticed a lot of the designs for the first stage Pokemon are almost carbon copies of each other. And I pointed something out to someone on Twitter, and they just like closed their eyes and said, "No, that's not happening." The Score Bunny first evolution model, when compared to the Meowth model, are the same model. They have the same feet, the same body, the same head. It's like Blizzard came in and is like, hey, we need to make a new enemy. All right, put spikes on them and make them purple. We're done. And that's okay for them because they got to come out with an expansion every year. That's on a new game.
We just keep going back to Pokemon.
I like how we said, I'm not going to talk about Pokemon 37 minutes later.
I really didn't want to. I'm so tired, Kyle.
But you're addicted to talking about it. Satisfy your urges.
I'm not satisfied. I can't be happy about this. Pokemon's dead. Speaking of monster things, Temtem, did you see their new trailer that they had released?
I have been trying to keep up with them. I do not have a PC right now that can play it. My current laptop isn't powerful enough. My other laptop has a broken arrow key, so when I log in, my character just does these awesome runs into walls. He's so excited to get out there.
The early access is actually in a couple days, so it's finally being open to the public for pre-order and stuff. And they added co-op, and I'm glad a lot of people are actually, now that it's getting all the attention it very much well deserves, and I'm seeing a lot of positive feedback on it.
I did see someone,
which makes me
not
happy.
Myself. I was on, I believe it was V on 4chan, and someone made a Temtem thread. So a lot of people just went ahead and said, "Oh, Pokemon Slayer, we've heard that before," and it's like, yeah, but actually look, asshole, like actually read into it.
Like, this ain't Yokai Watch. That was a marketing scheme that American made.
And so everyone was starting to compare the different monster catcher games, Yokai Watch, and there was another one, an older one called Spectroids.
Spectrobes.
And this new one,
that was Disney.
I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it has a lot of bright colors. It's kind of taking a page out of Yokai Watch, but it looks more like the new Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's probably gonna flop. But Temtem, I have very high hopes for. They're a grassroots Kickstarter game. I find that these games, when you first get them out there, they're either going to be a disaster. We're talking Star Citizen. I don't know if that was on Kickstarter, but I know it's a freaking mess.
It was.
They'll either the creators will use it to buy coke and prostitutes, or they'll actually use it to make the game. And when they actually make the game, you get the game for probably 70% less than market value. You're in the credits, and depending how much you buy, you might actually have some characters in the game that you had a hand in. I believe you have done that to a game. Rune or Ego Raptors game.
Tome? Not Ego, not Ego, not Ego Raptor. Kerberfer's game, Tome, based off his hit web series, if you've seen it already, of the same name. Basically, it was a series inspired by Dot Hack, Log Horizon. Basically, friends in an MMO, shit happens, all those tropes you're familiar with. But the gimmick of it was about the amount of customization each character had. It was basically limitless, so that made it good, cameo fodder for everything. Actually, one of my characters, Randolph Rhino, actually cameoed in Season 2, Episode 1 in the background.
I remember that. And
that
was to simulate, if you ever were in an MMO and you go to the hub, there's always probably about 20 to 50 random real people, and they all look like radically different, wearing different armors, different classes. So I thought it was pretty brilliant to not only make that scene, but make the characters all OCs from real people. So it kind of had that vibe. It's like, that's a real person. That's not just some fodder character that Kerberford came up with. He had to implement an idea. And that's a nice way to keep your fan base interacted.
Yeah, and, he's doing the Kickstarter for the game. The game plays like Paper Mario... No, not Paper Mario. Mario RPG. Like, basically down to a T. It's almost the same. It's pretty great. But Kickstarter, I threw, money towards the Kickstarter rewards where you'd be able to fight Pehk.
You can actually fight
as a random
Pehk
enemy
in this game.
And it's great. He's called Punky Pehk. I found out why they called him Punky Pehk. Because the reason for that... apparently, since it's an online game, you wanted it to sound like, instead of just calling him Pehk like a regular name, he thought he threw the Punky in, so it sounded more like a screen name. And I go, you know what? That sort of makes sense. So I didn't mind it too much. It's kind of funny because, yeah.
And normally when someone gave him his OC, they already had a screen name in mind.
Yeah,
Woo! So those are what my holidays have been shaping up to be. Things I'm looking forward to after the holidays. The new DLC for Kingdom Hearts, Remind.
Yeah, so they can fix Kingdom Hearts 3 because, they can
finally
fix it.
Understand what the heck that character at the end's all about. He just showed up like, hey, we're not done. If you thought we were done, we're not. Because here I am.
What else? Other things I'm looking forward to next year. Animal Crossing, March 20th. I'm excited. They delayed Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered again. It was supposed to come out next month.
You've been talking about this a while.
I'm so angry because the first time they delayed it was because originally it was supposed to be for Switch and PS4, and they were going to have crossplay with each other. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And then they delayed it the first time because they was like, well, we want to make it for iOS and Android as well. I'm like, I guess the two...
Whoa, did we lose you?
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyway, what was I saying? Right, so they wanted to put it on the... iOS and Android, and for some reason, I guess, and the thing is, it's gonna have crossplay with all four of them now, and I guess they're just not getting that working. Maybe because you're putting
I want to see more retro titles come out for Android.
Yeah, and that's fine, but they're delaying it to summer now.
That makes sense. You're right. it's going to be a little complicated. They
fun.
want to get it right. They don't want
That's
to release it
true.
and have it not work. That'd be a disaster. Well, good things take time.
Nope.
You know, Blizzard, as much as people say they can't balance a game, well,
Yeah.
at least their game works. When you log on, it works. And it's because they
Oh
take their
boy.
time, they polish it out. It looks good.
Uh-huh.
Is it balanced? They can't balance things because they are stuck on the healer damage tank meta, and they just can't peel off of it. It's hard to balance that. You might want to just go more of a pure game next time around. I wanted to, again, segue to Overwatch. I've been playing the new 2-2-2 meta, the forced
Oh,
meta.
so it's just like WoW then.
And I really think it's great. I think the only group who kind of got the short end of the stick here are people who play DPS but in comp. Because you're going to get probably a 15 to 20 minute wait time. Whereas the tank or healer is going to get probably a 2-minute wait time. So what ends up, yep, exactly like World of Warcraft. But what ends up happening, what some people are complaining about are the people who queue up as tanks or healers are more choosing classes that focus more on DPS, an off healer, off tank. So you'll get groups of
Oh my god.
Wrecking Ball, Winston with Zenyatta, and let's say not Bap, because he's actually not bad, but Moria is a very popular choice. But Moria can be abused. You can focus more on damage and not healing your team. Wrecking Ball, you can kind of get murdered if you're not good at it. Same with Winston, and you leave your team without a shield. So I feel that competitive's going to need some tuning. They might need some special rules for people to get more balanced games. But in quick play, it's actually pretty nice. You go in, you have 2 healers, 2 DPS, 2 tanks. You just got to work with your team. You know, I'm not a fan of telling people what class to play. I look at myself before I start asking people to switch. I look at the situation. It's like, what are we doing? Are we not moving? Are we not being aggressive enough? Are we too aggressive? Are we completely out of position? I look at other things before I go, oh, hey, get off Wrecking Ball, you suck. That's a great way to tilt your team and lose the game. And what I like to do is if we're getting owned, let's say May and Reaper are just kicking our team's ass, I'll just point it out. I'll say, hey, their Reaper's on fire. We got to take care of that. And if the Winston player doesn't click in his head that maybe I should go like, I don't know, Zarya, or maybe I should go into Orisa or someone to give my team a little extra support. Maybe I should change my idea. I don't know. I do expect if you are going to solo queue, expect horrible players. If you don't want to deal with horrible players, you got to make a pre-made group. That's all there is to it. Got to find some friends to play with. I'm just sick of people coming on saying, "Oh, person on X is just throwing and they won't switch." It's like, buddy, post a video because I'm guaranteeing you're doing something wrong and you're either A, not seeing it or you're ignoring it. Been on the forums a lot, all right? Been on my mind. But it's looking like it's going to be a nice Christmas. It's going to be a white Christmas, huh, Pehk?
White Christmas? What do you mean?
Do you understand it's not even winter?
Well, there was snow, but it snowed like twice and it melted away, which I'm very happy for.
Yep, winter officially starts on the 23rd. And we already have gotten over 2 feet of snow here. It's so much. Can I unsubscribe from snow for the rest of the year?
It's called moving out of the East Coast.
It's called moving. I unsubscribed. I sold my house, bought another house where it's never under 50. Ooh. So yeah, that's the holiday episode. I'm Kahl.
And I'm Pehk.
and we wish you a very
And
Merry
a
Christmas,
happy holiday.
a happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
What do you say for Kwanzaa? Do you say Happy
Uh,
Kwanzaa, Merry Kwanzaa,
Yes.
Crazy Kwanzaa?
Crazy Kwanzaa.
No,
It's crazy.
have a sane
Sane
Kwanzaa, not crazy.
We're,
All right, stay safe, folks. Happy holidays.